In this episode, I drove up to the Yorkshire Dales on a wet afternoon with my son to carry out a challenge which we long wanted to do together. We stayed at night Stainforth camping in Caravan Park, which is just north of Settle. It's in a beautiful spot with a good bar and shop, great washroom, washing up facilities and a children's play area. We got up early the next morning to drive to Horton-in-Ribblesdale, a good starting point for the Three Peaks Challenge.
Good morning. This is end of April in 2019 and this is Toby, my son, and we're off in the Yorkshire Dales to set off and do the Yorkshire Three Peaks, which is 12 hours to do 24 miles, or do it in less than 12 hours. So this is the start. We're in Horton-in-Ribblesdale. We'll be seeing you later on.
To avoid the crowds, we decided to do the route in the clockwise direction, which starts off by crossing the railway line in Horton-in-Ribblesdale. The route starts off crossing farmland before you get to the limestone pavement further up into the hills. It soon becomes rocky underfoot, so you need a good pair of walking boots or shoes to protect your feet. Under the clouds ahead of us was the first peak, which is called Ingleborough.
Right, we're about an hour and a half in. We're just going up Ingleborough. We've done just over 4 miles, and we're coming into the clouds, which you can see behind us, around us. So still a little way to go. So the first stop at Ingleborough, which we'll get to next, and then on to Whernside.
As you approach the top of the peak, it becomes steep and rocky.
Right, Toby and I are now at the top of Ingleborough, just under 5 miles. So that's the first of the first 3 Yorkshire peaks we've done. So it's starting to rain a bit, not going to hang out too long.
This is such a popular route that much of it is paved with rock and stones, and that's pretty tough on your feet, so make sure you get a good pair of shoes or boots which are comfortable all day. Across the other side of the valley from Ingleborough is Whernside, the highest peak and the second peak of the day. There's a steep ascent up to the ridge.
Right, we're here up at the top of Whernside. It's going to be going 4 hours. We've done 10.5 miles, and we had rain and hail, but we're now at the top. That's 2 out of the 3 peaks done, and so we're going to head down now towards Pen-y-Ghent.
As we left the top of Whernside, it began to rain and hail, but we soon dropped down off the top of the ridge and out of the wind. In the opposite direction, we saw all those people who set off in the anti-clockwise direction. We soon got to the Ribbleshead Viaduct, where there's a van serving butties and tea. After a short break at the viaduct, we headed into the beautiful valley which leads down to Pen-y-Ghent. To deal with the changeable weather in the Yorkshire Dales, make sure you dress appropriately with a good waterproof jacket and walking trousers, as well as your boots or shoes. The final peak for us was Pen-y-Ghent, which began to loom ahead of us in the clouds.
This is the top of Pen-y-Ghent. This is the last peak. We're going Okay, it's 7 o'clock this morning, it's about, I don't know what time it is, but we've been going probably, it's 4 o'clock now, so probably another half an hour back to the car, and that is it.
The final challenge of that walk is the drop off Pen-y-Ghent, which is steep and rocky. So after walking 25 miles for over 10.25 hours and climbing 5,000 feet, we are finally nearing our start point in Horton-in-Ribblesdale. We got back to the base camp in the caravan park, had a good shower, had a good meal, and then decided to go out that evening to watch a band in Settle. The Yorkshire Three Peaks Challenge is tough, but if you're reasonably fit, it's not bad at all. Make sure you take good kit with you and also carry plenty of food and water.